Hi everybody, welcome to No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Pippin, and I am not throwing away my shot.
I'm not going to do what you're expecting to. I'm Alexander McDonald.
He is Alexander MacDonald.
Wait, you're the ALEXAND. ER, what?
Something meant to be? A podcast living in mediocrity, but someday we will reach our ascendancy.
Wow.
Listen, I know our stats.
I knew you guys. I knew you guys.
Wow.
I'm not going to play by your guys' game.
Wow.
Fair.
Oh, you know what, guys? Alex threw away his shot.
Ooh, burn.
Fuck you guys. I didn't throw it away. My shot.
I'm Kat, and I am the bullet.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You are a portent for death for all of us.
Indeed. Now you know.
Now we know.
And I'm Brendan, and I can tell you that the room where it happens has great mac and cheese.
Oh, deep Jefferson reference.
Yeah!
That is the only trivia Brendan looked up for this entire podcast.
Listen, he was really happy with his mac and cheese recipe. Everybody needed to know about it.
Everybody did and was annoyed. So today, we're talking about the 2015 musical Hamilton, because we're in the zeitgeist. We know what people are talking about several weeks ago. So spoilers abound. If you want specific content warnings about things we may talk about or about history, check out the show notes on nostorysacred.com.
But we will be talking about sexy times and illicit sexy times and stupid sexy times.
And union.
And our
and revolution.
And our 400-year dark history with slavery and the oppression of people, you know.
What?
And the hope that you provide?
Thank you, Pippin.
Yeah. So for those of you who've never watched or listened to Hamilton, the
Read
summary
a book.
watch the Got Milk commercial.
It's on Spotify.
The summary, according to Wikipedia, is: the musical details Hamilton's life in 2 acts, along with how various historical characters influence his life, such as Gilbert de Motier, Marquis de Lafayette, Aaron Burr, John Lawrence, Hercules Mulligan, Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton, Angelica Schuyler, Peggy Schuyler, Philip Hamilton, and former presidents George Washington, James Madison, and Thomas Jefferson. Wikipedia does not help in this instance.
No.
Also, they got the Schuyler sister ordering wrong. It's Angelica, Eliza,
and Peggy.
I feel like the Wikipedia article elevated his wife to first.
Fair.
I mean...
Some say that maybe Hamilton is named after her and not Alexander. What?
I do like that theory.
Who's going to tell the story? Oh.
She tells my story.
Oh, God. I can't.
Oh.
Did she do enough? Did she tell his story? I'm going to fucking deadpan this entire fucking thing, you guys.
It's the only way you're going to survive the fact that you're named Alexander.
It's true.
I understand.
Alexander. Al, I did not think of your problem before we went into this.
Don't worry, Al. We're going to go into Lord of the Rings eventually, and Pip will get her just desserts.
Oh, yeah. There will be
Blood.
And the comeuppance.
Anyway, so, the musical, the experience.
Yep.
The ride.
All of those things.
The sex position.
Wow! God, don't give him that. He'd be far too thrilled.
Is it a disappointing missionary while your wife's in New York?
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit! Okay, Brendan, I'm so sorry what just happened to my levels. But, also, Holy shit, Alex.
I can come up with burns.
Alright, so, what happens in the musical? Hamilton's an idiot for 3 hours. But the long
very
story...
smart idiot.
Yeah. He's an idiot in the way that smart people are idiots, in that he's very sure of outcomes and is dead wrong.
This is how I would react to me saying this. Surely this is how everyone will react. Why are you mad at me?
And all his friends, I'm remembering drunk history here, going like, I know this makes sense in your messed up head, but everybody else thinks this way.
I feel like all of this is a very on point, burn on me.
I mean, if...
The silence deepens.
So anyway, so Alexander Hamilton is...
The ALEX.
Yes.
Okay.
Born in the Caribbean. There's a hurricane, destroys his town. They raise money, they send him to New York, where he's going to make something of himself.
'Cause he was a clever fucker.
Yeah, he was a very good writer.
He was also a bastard orphan, son of a whore, middle of a war. I don't know.
And a Scotsman. Don't forget that.
Yeah, Scotsman's involved.
Oh, a son of a bitch. I'm also a son of a Scotsman.
Yeah, you are.
So, the show is narrated by Aaron Burr, who is the damn fool who shot him. Spoiler alert in the first song.
Which, I mean, you know already if you grew up with the seminal, Got Milk commercial.
So, fun
Directed
fact
by
about...
Michael Bay, as we covered before.
True. Christ. So, fun fact, Ashley, my best beloved best friend,
and this transcriber of our show.
Yes. She, going into Hamilton, did not know that he was killed in a duel by Aaron Burr.
Oh no.
Because for some reason, she missed that piece of information that all the rest of us know. She knew that he got into a fight with Jefferson about the banks.
But
The more
She knew that part.
obscure piece of information, I would say.
we didn't know that part.
No, we didn't. But to be fair, if you know Ashley, you could call her knowing the weird obscure thing and not the thing everybody knows.
That's legit.
But also, when she was first listening to the musical, when you're listening to first songs, sometimes you're sort of fading in and out. And she sort of faded out on the line, "I'm the damn fool who shot him."
Oh no.
So she didn't even get that bit of forewarning.
Oh no.
So she gets to the end of the show where,
The duel.
the thing happens.
The duel happens.
The thing that
famous duel.
we can spoil, it's been 200 years. Go on.
Yeah. Where Hamilton is killed in a duel by Aaron Burr.
Sir.
Burr.
Oh.
So she died.
Oh no.
'Cause she didn't see it coming.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, Ashley.
So the first half of Hamilton, first act, some might call it, to use the stage parlance, covers basically the Revolutionary War.
The revolution.
Woo!
Yep.
The first song covers his early life.
Yeah. He grew up.
It sucked.
People were kids once. Some people have tragic backstories.
His is super tragic. There's suicide. Oh, that's another warning. Suicide, death, dead moms.
Disease.
Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Enough.
Themes.
Themes.
More than enough that your editor would go, come on, cut back a little bit here.
Back it up. Rewind. Next you're gonna tell me he's gonna be all the chosen one.
He is the chosen one.
All right.
All right.
So that's
at the right hand of the Father.
not even subtle.
No.
So the first half is the war, which, America wins. Go team.
America.
Which mostly through British incompetence and our,
Yeah. Yeah. When you start looking at everything else, you're like, oh no. Oh, it was only because we were so far away and they had other shit happening.
Yep.
Yeah, multiple fronts.
A war with France. A big deal. It happens more frequently than you think.
Much closer, too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a website you can go to with, was England at war with France during this certain period of time? And more often than not, it's yes. But yeah, so that's the first half. The second half is, the rest of his life, where he continues to be a monumental fuck-up.
But does good things, too. I mean, come on.
Like, monumental fuck-ups with, like, shining instances of, clarity and... wisdom's the wrong word. Genius. Shining moments of genius.
And constructing a nation where there wasn't anyone before.
Huzzah.
Sure, he does. He does help create a system of government and a bank.
Although the system of government he wants and argues for is not what we end up having. He wanted basically a monarchy again. And everyone else is like, Alexander, shut the fuck up.
Shh, baby, shh. No. That's not covered in the musical, though.
It is not. Lots of things aren't covered.
The Drunk History covers it, though, and it's a lot of fun.
I should rewatch the Drunk History.
He's secretly a royalist.
Oh shit. They do kind of vaguely mention it, don't they? Like, and they're like talking about him and Washington.
Yeah. Well, he's like, talks for 4 hours, the convention is listless. Bright young man. Who the F is this? Yeah.
It does mention, he does mention later how, Washington could just continue to serve.
He could just stay. Going. He could just stay there.
To which Washington is all like, fuck no.
Did I stutter?
Teach him how to say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Teach him how to say goodbye.
So... And also, peace out before people will stop and think about, my slave holdings. What?
Of course, all of his many slave teeth. They weren't wooden.
There what? I think there were 2 sets of teeth, right?
There were multiple slaves involved in the construction of his teeth.
Oh, man. Apparently, Chris Jackson, who plays Washington, did try to do a bit of acting, somewhere in there. At the end of the play, when Eliza's doing her final monologue, I help raise funds for the Washington Monument. And, he's like, she tells my story. And then she goes, I speak out against slavery. And apparently he does some shame acting in the background. Because Chris Jackson knew it was up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, listening to interviews with any of them, particularly when you get, like, David Dix, not Jones, being all like, Jefferson's a great role and great songs. He was an asshole.
Total dick. He did some good things, but also,
oh my
total
god,
asshole. He was a shitbag. Which he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we have important people in Hamilton's life. The Marquis de Lafayette. John Lawrence, who he was probably in love with, even though the historical record doesn't exist anymore.
It's speculation.
Well, a lot of the letters are cough, cough, burned, so... And also, shit was different. We can't know. And that's the thing. We can't know. We weren't there. Like, I tell many people I love them. I don't necessarily love them. I just like them a whole lot.
Exactly, yeah.
But at the same time...
I am sitting right here.
But at the same time, also, like, I do believe that there was a queer experience. I don't believe in that nonsense. Like, there's no such thing as homosexuality before the 1960s. Fuck that. There was definitely queer identities. It's just whether or not, we can't know. We weren't there. We're not in their brains. But
I just want to know what his sons removed from the letters.
Yeah, because apparently it was, spicy.
A spoiler alert for what my rewrite's going to be. So, yeah, basically Hamilton's life fucking happens in this 3-hour musical. Marquis de Lafayette is the most amazing person ever to have ever. I
mean, David Diggs, come on.
Oh,
amazing.
Fuck yeah. Like, you watch David Diggs play Marquis de Lafayette, and you go like, oh, that's why all of our shit is named after him.
Right? Like, Lafayette did not have to go that hard for us, but he did.
Yep.
He did it for us.
He did it.
And if you find yourself listening to the Muppets, sing Hamilton, skip most of it. Skip most of it, but do listen, yeah. But do listen to, Fozzie try to sing Lafayette.
Yeah, the Fozzie rendition of Guns and Ships is the, yeah. We'll link that in the show notes.
But yeah, I'm not sure what more I could say to do the rundown of the plot. I mean,
well, I think
he has some affairs, emotional, physical. He ruins his own life.
His sons, his
kid dies, through, the same kind of hubris that he has. What? Repeating themes.
Well, I think that's something we could probably touch on a little bit just with the writing of the play.
Like structure and shit.
Yeah, because we don't really talk about that too often, and I think this is a good opportunity.
But wait, we're a writing podcast. How can we not talk about the structure of writing?
What?
What?
No,
I just want to talk about sex.
That's nice.
With one siblings, always the best conversation. Go on.
Exactly. That's why we're not. Ha. Alright,
So, Hamilton's a sung-through rap musical.
Not just rap. However, a lot of traditionally black music types.
Yes.
Yeah.
To showcase their range.
Also, let's be real, traditional show tunes.
And also, British pop. From the 19th. British invasion pop. It was invasion pop!
there you go.
Did you just put that together?
I literally just got it.
Oh, cat. Oh, cat. Oh, cat. Did you know that Hugh Laurie gave Lin-Manuel the idea for the title, You'll Be Back?
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's Hugh Laurie, though. Come on.
They were talking on, like, the set of House or something, because Lin had a bit part.
Of course he fucking
He was like, oh, I'm writing this song for my show as from the point of view of King George, and it's a breakup song. And Hugh Laurie just sort of waggled his finger and went, "You'll be back."
The ultimate British. Nice.
Yeah.
We're just that wayward colony. We'll be back someday.
Well, there's also just, like, other stylistic choices when it comes to the music. Like, I think I watched a video a couple weeks back when everybody was watching Hamilton, so of course there's a dearth of YouTube videos. So again, we're riding this wave well after the fact. We're not really comfortable with huge waves. I mean, come on, boogie boards for life.
The wave has crested, and we're kind of now on that kind of like tide, the tide move. We're riding the tide.
Riding the tide.
We're in the wave pool of social progress. It's great.
Oh my god.
I didn't want to get into the water. It's scary.
But
I don't like the ocean. Go on.
Yes.
So one thing that was pointed out is at the very start of the play, when you have like Lawrence and Lafayette and all them doing a rap in the bar, they're doing very kind of like traditional, like early rap, in terms of structure. 80s rap.
Yeah.
But when Hamilton comes into the scene, he starts bringing out the triplet rap.
Mm-hmm.
Literally changes the game.
Yeah. I mean, although I will confess something, guys. The Not Throwing Away My Shot I don't enjoy the song very much. I know that Lynn's like, I spent like 6 months getting it right. I'm like, sorry. It's not. Listen, compared to some of the other songs, like Washington's debut, Guns and Ships, anything Burr sings.
To be fair, he knows that he gave Burr the best songs.
Yeah.
Burr and Eliza.
I am the one thing in life I can't control.
But I think in terms of like raw storytelling, there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot of things we can just, both like musically and structure wise, like the fact that the play itself is set up as competing philosophies between how we portray Burr in the play versus Hamilton in the play.
Mm-hmm.
the very notion of, legacies and telling the story.
Themes.
Today's theme is themes. I would like to point out that Aaron Burr tells the whole story through most of it, but Eliza's the one who's all like, no, this is all possible because of me.
Hell
like,
yeah.
At the very end, she slips in and goes like, what up?
Well, I mean,
I told your story.
Well, because he was being a fucking dude and being like, this is clearly also my story. And she's in the background being like,
Interesting.
So interesting that you should say that, but let's see who did more with their life afterwards. Oh, I didn't try to fucking take over California or where the hell he did.
I'm not going to declare myself emperor of anything. And that's not even going to get mentioned in this show that isn't named after you.
Womp womp.
Weird.
But theme-wise, also, I like to collect, useful writing things that, I think demonstrate particular, writing truisms, or what have you, for that, blessed day in the future where maybe somebody decides to pay me money to teach writing. One of these is a video, that is, about Hamilton. And it is I would call a perfect deconstruction of the use of themes and layered themes. And how to do that, why it's important, and what it does to an audience. I'm a huge sucker for anything that talks about how to manipulate an audience, because that's what writing is.
Yep.
You are getting every tool out of your toolbox to convince somebody else who isn't you to have a vague idea of what's in your brain. And that involves a lot of trickery, a lot of stuff. And so this video is a really perfect rundown. And it's also like makes you cry. And we'll link that in the show notes because that's basically my entire reason d'etre is just linking shit in the show notes.
Wow. But yeah, oh, man, I was going to make a point, but then it fell out of my head.
It's because I took over and talked until...
yeah. I know who you are as a person.
Kat doesn't discriminate. She takes and she takes and she...
That's very true.
Oh.
But yeah, the way the show's structured packs a lot of information in actually a very small amount of space. Mm-hmm. 'Cause it is like a 3-hour musical to 2 minutes 40 maybe, actually? I don't know.
With more words than Hamlet.
Yes.
Which is typically a 5-hour play if you did the entire unedited play.
If you don't have front breaths, what are you even doing?
Why are you here? Speaking of themes.
Considering the 2-minute Hamlet mentions Fortinbras.
Right? But yeah, part of it is just how fast some of the songs are, like Guns and Ships, which is, I believe, the fastest song in Broadway history.
And so the nation shifts.
I believe the second fastest is still Not Getting Married Today from Company, but that's neither here nor there. Company, written by Stephen Sondheim, a mentor of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Makes sense.
He comes by this shit honest.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense.
Which is, I think, why I like Lin stuff so much, is because I like Sondheim, and there's a lot of similarities. Sondheim
is one of the few musical guys that I actually like listening to his stuff. I mean, I'm not the music hound here. That would be Pippin.
Love me some musicals.
Yeah, not it. But Sondheim, I can get behind. I like patter songs. I like fast songs. I like rap. I do. There it is.
Fair enough.
White girl confessions right here.
But yeah, no, he fits a lot of stuff into songs. There are themes on themes on themes, and part of what that does, as Kat alluded to earlier, is it allows for the building of meaning. So you can pack more meaning in the thing with fewer words because you've already established what it meant before. Mm-hmm. And you can change it without a lot of effort later. You know, Eliza has the song Helpless, which covers everything that's in that word. Because in the beginning, it's because she's helpless at the sight of him because he's so pretty and she likes him.
Oh, and he has no, facial hair.
But as the show goes on, it changes cause she becomes helpless at the end, to his ambition.
Ooh.
Mm.
Later on, it's, sung by Maria Reynolds, the woman he has an affair with.
Cause she's so helpless.
I am helpless.
And he, of course, is helpless to stop himself.
I mean, I think he sings the song, I think he sings the word too.
He does.
Yeah. So in that one word, there's so much meaning, because we've already associated it with Eliza and her feelings. Mm-hmm. So it's just love stuff packed in there.
And even his and her, and Mariah's usage of helpless is a betrayal of Eliza's usage, which in turn is symbolic of the overall betrayal that's happening right there. I mean, so
a lot of meaning.
So much meaning. I mean, and that's, if I know people have a lot in this. For me, the artistry and the reason why a fucking Genius Grant was awarded is in these layered meanings, and these twists on meanings, which is also symbolic of the twists of meanings that you get in rap. But, the other one, the one that the video pointed out that was sort of their big turning point, was the idea of, wait for it. And who's waiting for what, and, who's deciding how the roles switch from the one who's waiting and the one who's acting. And how that fucks you up at the end.
How sometimes you really should wait.
The Greek tourist told you!
And sometimes you can say wait and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Action has happened, the overwhelming wave of everything that has happened before has swept you up. There's an actual line that's both in the musical, but also is from real life. It's from, one of Burr's letters, where, he either read Lawrence Sterne or Voltaire. I think it was Lawrence Sterne, actually. And said, and it kind of opened his eyes about a lot of stuff, and he says, I should have realized that the world was wide enough for Hamilton and me.
The town was big enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
I think one of his other real world quotes is, Burr talking about Hamilton was, Hamilton, my good friend whom I shot.
Yeah. Well, and then of course, both he and Eliza used to visit the bust of Hamilton, I don't know, in a museum or something like that. And I'm like, did you fuckers get tea afterwards?
Oh, I have no doubt that Eliza jilted him at every opportunity. Perhaps created moments just to, just to be super rude to him. Yeah. I mean, she wouldn't let James Madison sit down in her house because she blamed him for a lot of this too.
Eliza's such a goddamn hero.
She's so great.
It's what Alexander would have wanted.
It really is.
Well, yes and no. Alexander might have been willing to let him sit in the house for gain, 'cause he was ambitious. Eliza, stone cold vengeance.
Yeah.
That girl ain't forgetting nothing.
Burn.
Burn.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Aaron Burn.
Another way that the show creates meaning and understanding is through its use of references. Because a lot of the show references popular rap songs. The 10 Dual Commandments is a direct reference
to Biggie Smalls.
The 10 Crack Commandments.
Yep.
That's just straight up what that song is. There are smaller references, and there's also references to musical theater. There's the line, "You've got to be carefully taught," which is from South Pacific, and it's about racism.
There's, of course, Lin-Manuel fixing, who is it? Gilbert and Sullivan's line?
I'm the very model of a modern major
general. And then Gilbert and Sullivan's is kind of a bullshit line after that. But he fixed it to, I am the very model of a modern major general, whose men are all lining up. He managed to rhyme general to mineral, and it makes sense.
Yeah. There's also the line, nobody needs to know. At the end of Say No to This. Which is from the musical The Last 5 Years, which is about a marriage falling apart after an affair.
Oh, shit. But also, even the kinds of rap that are chosen for each character are indicative. So, for instance, or the style that was popular with particular artists. So, the kind of rap that Washington is doing, where it's very on beat, it's heavy, it's big, is apparently very, I'm trying to remember this right, is a callback to, I guess, Dr. Dre's stuff, very, big names, powerful names in the field. While at the same time, for those who don't know that backstory, you still get the feeling, because it's on beat, it's heavy, it's there. You still get the power.
There's a weight behind it.
Yes. And so I'm sitting being like, can I have that Washington be my president? Oh my god.
Hey.
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 Hey. Ooh.
Speaking of course, yet. R&B. I mean, R&B, Destiny's Child. Not quite Beyonce, but
the stuff Beyonce, did appreciate.
Well, she was in Destiny's Child.
Yes.
Beyonce adjacent nowadays.
Yeah, there you go.
I was referring to Beyonce as her own separate artist as well, because she's grown beyond Destiny's Child as well.
Indeed. True enough. Look at you.
What?
What?
So.
Oh, if you don't know, now you know.
Don't know, now you know.
Which is a reference for, I think, a diss song, that came out. Like, that was like a holy shit, did you really diss song?
And I mean, you also have the, Continental Congress scenes, which are just basically like literal rap battles, how they're actually like set up.
Yep.
Basically, I think what we're getting at here is that if you're looking for a primer on themes, foreshadowing, all this stuff that can be useful in just setting up your own stories, it's a kind of a convenient thing to look at here.
It's a good study thing. I think I would really like to see some, like, after the hype is over, because there's a lot of hype, I really want to see some really good deconstructions of it. I don't want to hear what Lynn has to fucking say. You can't trust authors with what they...
And to be fair, Lynn would agree with you.
Yeah, you can't trust fucking... Like, if you ask me about what any of my stories are about, and I'm supposed... And I tell you the truth, I'm like, I don't know, I felt like... Anytime I have an interview where people are like, what does this really mean? I have to, like, suddenly tell you that the curtains are blue because of melancholy. Like, whereas in real life, I don't remember what color I made them. But I really want to see which is why I like watching those videos. Because it's separate from, in its way, it's separate from the hype, it's separate from people who gain from it, or who are too close to it. So you can really look at the artistry behind it.
Yeah, leaving aside the politics of it, which I feel unqualified to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just examining it as a work of art. It is a work of art.
It absolutely is.
It is a masterclass of the form.
I do want to briefly touch on what you just tried to avoid.
Thanks.
No problem. There's a lot of criticism that could be made regarding the story itself, or the fact that it was made,
which versions of history that you're, the sources you're using, I mean.
There's somebody's pointing out that, like, Lynn's great, but he's a Puerto Rican kid doing black art. I can't speak to that. That's not my fucking lane, but I do know it is a conversation that's happening.
At the end of the day, all art is political.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
Every single bit of it.
Wait, what?
All your art, Kat, is political. Because the personal is political, and art is personal, so by the transitive property of personal truths. Okay, so as you know, I have a story coming out at the end of August, and in the interview that went with it, somebody asked, the interviewer very kindly and nicely said, there's so much,
deep political stuff in here. What were you thinking about when you wrote it? And I was just like, I was a queer person in 2017. This is just what my brain was like. And I'm like, yeah, you can totally read it with about anti-authoritarianism. Yeah, that was definitely what I was going for. What? I just want to talk about space lesbians.
Don't we all?
But yeah, which goes back to how you can't fucking trust authors to talk about their own shit. But yes, the personal is political. You do not create art in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And that's frequently discussed in terms of like, oh, is it completely original? Fuck off, there's nothing completely original. One. But two, the other half of that is that there is no me that is free of myself, referencing my favorite essay ever. I can't write something that isn't from my own fucking brain. Yeah. Everything I write is filtered through my experiences, my world, my life. And the life I'm living right now is in a fucking 2020. This bullshit. Ugh. I'd like everybody to praise me for not going on an even more extended rant about 2020. Thank you. Oh yeah, so the personal is political. To look at Hamilton and not see that there are deep issues, but also deep good things. It's right back up there with the fact that, there is don't put anything on a pedestal. There is nothing perfect. Your faves are problematic, and so on. That doesn't mean we can't learn from it.
If I were going to argue anything, which I'm not saying I am.
How dare.
One could argue that Hamilton did a great thing. Mm-hmm. And now, it's opened the door for us to be even better and look back on Hamilton and go like, oh no, that was shit. But it opens out for even greater and better stories.
Yes.
Better plays?
What?
Yeah.
Seems unlikely, but it's true.
I know. Because that's the thing about art. What was great today may not be great tomorrow. 20, 50 years from now, we might be looking back and going like, oh, Hamilton? Oh no, sweetie.
Oh no.
Sweetie, no.
Oh no.
I mean, the people back then liked it. They didn't know.
But, it was a big step forward in a lot of ways.
But we've grown beyond that now.
We have grown beyond. Well, okay. You know what? I'm gonna do it. It's little bit like Joss Whedon from the 90s.
Oh, Joss.
Listen, for the time, yes. He was doing really important stuff for, women as characters who could be, who could have troubles, who could be strong, who could be their own action stars, who could still be very feminine, etc. and so forth, bullshit, etc. However,
but now we look at it and go like, oh, we can be the sort of woman that Joss Whedon just wants to fuck.
Yes. But that does not stop, it does not stop the importance of the art for the people that it affected. It does not stop the importance of the art for the people who it may affect in the future. It does not remove the fact that it was important and is important for that space of time. However,
I still deeply love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Of course. However, we have grown beyond some of the political issues or personal issues, personal is political, that are represented in the artist. That which in turn is filtered into the art.
Yeah. The artist is dead, but also the artist, someone created this thing.
The artist is dead as its own separate fuck pile.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it and it's important, but at the same time, we also, to ignore it is to ignore a very important level of deconstruction.
The artist is a zombie?
The artist is dead works better when...
The artist is actually...
Yeah. The artist isn't actively contributing or benefiting from book sales.
Or the artist is like, no, you guys, I did mean it that way. Shut up.
Oh,
she didn't actually ask you.
But also, who knows what you really meant? I'm telling you, artists, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
All artists are assholes. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Legit. I'm not even gonna argue that one.
Confirm. Let's move on, though.
The point of the story of Hamilton is Eliza Hamilton is better than everybody else.
And she is the one who told the story.
Yeah, and Satisfied is a great song.
Hell yeah.
If people have only listened to the musical on, like, Spotify or whatever, and haven't had a chance to watch the actual stage show, I know that, Disney is an evil corporation who,
wants to eat your soul.
Yeah. But, if you can spare a few dollars for, like, to subscribe to it for a month.
Mm-hmm.
But no, seeing it does add depth.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, yes, the music is a piece of art, but the thing about a stage, show is that there are all sorts of different parts.
I mean, you can see that weird turntable thing, that Lazy Susan stage.
Cause they got 2 turntables and a microphone, Brendan. Get it? Get it?
No?
It's a rap thing.
Because you use the turntables to create the beats.
With the record scratching and stuff?
Yeah. Mm. And that's,
it's that image.
It's a DJ setup.
And there are 2 turntables that can go different directions. Mm-hmm. And it goes one direction when they're going forward in time and the other direction when they're going back in time.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that one.
Heard about it in the video.
Nice. But that's because it's 2 turntables. Oh my god. But also, because of course, much the way that writing is not a solitary, thing, and books are not solitary pieces of art, stage productions it's the music and the visual melted together.
Yeah.
One complements the other.
A lot of people work together on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone credits Lin for everything, and to be fair, he did a lot. But he didn't choreograph that thing.
Hell no.
He didn't do the light design. He didn't do the costume design.
Yeah, nor should he have to.
Nope.
No.
Which is actually why you should have, like, I know this is hard to hear, fellow writers out there, but believe it or not, your work needs work.
What? First of all, how dare you? Second of all, what gives you the right?
An external editor's eyes is, like, the most invaluable thing you can get, right?
So important. So fucking important.
Yeah.
Oh my god. One of the most destructive, there are so many destructive memes or ideas about writing, but one of the most destructive is that, this is your, by yourself, solitary work of genius. Fuck off.
No, if you don't have someone to cry on, in the middle of the night when a chapter isn't going well, you're not truly living.
Pippin, that sounds too real.
Listen, I'm here for you.
I think Mom had a really great example. Leave it to the English doctorate to have wise commentary on writing. But I just remember that people have this notion that, like, fiction and writing is just like this naturally formed process of the fiction tree. It's like, look, I plucked the fruit of the fiction tree and here's my novel. Here you go, world. And it's not like that. It's hard work and you need people who aren't you to look at it.
Well, this is why I disagree with the entire idea that my muse is helping me. Oh, my muse fuck off. I did this. My muse hasn't left me. This is just me and my common bullshit. But if I create something good, that wasn't some gift from on high. I practiced this shit. And then if somebody improves a sentence, it also wasn't the fucking muse. It was Susan, the copy editor.
Yeah.
I think that that's another destructive, like, it makes it very arty-farty, and, like, fuck that. No, it's a goddamn craft. If my words work right, it's because I've spent a fucking long time making them do that.
10,000 hours.
Bump bump. And 1,000,000 words of crap.
Yep.
I mean, you can actually follow that with Hamilton, bringing it back to the point.
What?
Whoa.
Because there is public record of the first performance of one of the songs. Back when he thought it was just going to be a concept album.
Oh!
Cause I guess he's a nerd.
Yes!
Because he performed a version of the opening song in the White House. Like, the first year Obama was president, I think. You can see that early version, where, by the way, they laughed at him.
They did.
Yep.
When he first announced, this is, a song about Alexander Hamilton. And a lot of it is the same. Some parts are different than the version we hear today. And you can actually hear songs that he cut out of the musical. Congratulations is the best song that's not in the show.
What about the Adams?
The Adams rap is also really good.
Yeah.
But, also when you listen to them, you go, oh yeah, I can see why that's great, why it didn't make the cut. Congratulations. Everything that's said can be said in like 2 lines in the middle of a song.
With it and fucking, Angelica's expression.
Yeah. Just her saying, I'm not here for you. It's like, that's all she needed.
That's boom.
I'm not here for you. One refrain, from Satisfied with a changed meaning, and we are out. And the, Adams rap, amazing, adds literally nothing to the story.
No, it's just fun to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the concept of murder your darlings comes in.
Yep.
Yeah. Lynn was just very lucky in that Hamilton was popular enough that he could take his darlings back out and go like, look, hey, what up? I got this too.
Aren't they pretty? Yeah. Listen, guys, we've been going on for a bit.
Yes.
We can
way
talk,
too long.
We can talk about, this is genuinely, award-winningly a piece of genius art. We could talk about it a lot. However, we
have a concept. We have a concept of this podcast that maybe we should get.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Fucking right. So, as we sometimes do when a work is really good, what from this would you either change or steal?
So I alluded to mine, earlier, and I will talk about mine to give you guys a bit more time to think it, just in case you need it.
I got one already. Go for it.
But gonna make you wild guest, gonna make it more queer.
Shut up! It's not my fault that it had the opportunity and didn't take enough of it. It took a lot of it, but because of who I am as a person, I'm not sure if all those longing looks between Lawrence and Hamilton were actually there or just me projecting.
It's true.
Cause I was rewatching it yesterday, the day before. Time is meaningless. And, I was looking at Lawrence with his hand on Hamilton's neck and sort of them staring at each other. And I was like, do you touch other people this long? I don't know. This seems very queer, but is this just because of the camera angle?
Is it just
which, to be
you
fair,
know?
also part of it. Is it just because I know and have opinions? I don't know.
Well, there's a scene from Community where one of the characters Annie is trying to be like, no, we have all these longing looks, and the next shot is a recut of the episode with overlaid with a really slow romantic song. See, it's proof. And then the next thing is one of the other characters says, well, wait a second, you could say the exact same thing about me and, this, fifth character who's Chevy Chase. And they do the exact same thing. They they cut together with the music, and you're like, oh shit.
So basically, I think the thing I would change, is one little actual actionable thing. Just this one little change of blocking.
One wafer thin blocking.
Yes, wafer thin. Is when Hamilton sings the line, Lawrence, I like you a lot. Mm-hmm. One casual touch of the upper shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if you could touch the bit of the skin above the collar, and then so much meaning in the one movement.
A brush of the knuckles on the underside of the chin.
I was literally about to offer that, Alex. You read my goddamn mind.
Question, though. Could it be interpreted as baiting in that case? Not to be a downer.
No, it's a good
type.
Question. It's a good question.
It is a good question.
Pippin?
That's my worry.
I mean, the fact that it was created, for the most part, as far as I can tell, by straight people.
It was. I mean, I see what you're saying, sorry.
I'm sure there are queer people among this cast. I know there are. Jonathan Groff is right there. But, among the main creative team, I'm not sure. Certainly the actors playing them, are in heterosexual relationships.
Which doesn't mean anything. Bi-erasure is a thing.
It does not mean anything of itself, but I've seen no indication to indicate otherwise. And clearly, they would have told me if
They would have called you up and been like, Pippin, here's the deal.
Like, hey, FYI, I wanted to tell you.
You in particular.
Because we're so close.
Here's the deal.
It might have been.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I always just want something more. I want to see me on screen / stage.
Oh, baby.
Wasn't there like a actual historical figure?
Yeah.
Von Braun? No.
Yeah.
Von Steuben.
Von Steuben. Yes.
He was gay as fuck.
It's like, this isn't my boyfriend. This is my translator. Fuck you.
And everyone's like, it looks like you're fucking him, though. Maybe that's how we translate shit. You don't know. Germany!
You don't know Prussian.
It's a very difficult phrase.
This app changes the pronunciation.
What was it? The show Sleepy Hollow, which had its own problems, but had Ichabod Crane coming from the past and waking up in the present time, seeing so
much potential.
I know. Seeing a queer couple in a coffee shop, and they're wearing like baseball caps and whatnot, and he's like, I can't believe that's happening. And his modern person is like, wait, like, it's gay people, it's fine. We do that now. He's like, I know about gay people. Like, Von Steuben was right there. I'm talking about the fact that they're wearing hats indoors. Have people no shame.
That is a perfect reaction.
So much was perfect about that show, and so much was shit. Oh.
So what I'm getting at there, though, Pip, just mentioning Von Steuben and all that, is that there's probably an angle that you could pursue there if you wanted to tell that kind of interpretation. That, like, there's other representative characters that we can also, like, kind of be like, it's not just, I don't know.
It's not just a modern eye making shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Having some of the background chorus dancers pull some shit. Just something.
Anything, yeah.
I don't know, understandable. Very understandable, yeah.
Like, one background scene at that Winter's Ball of Hamilton, also in a corner with a dude. It could have been so easy.
I just want to avoid, the whole entire, like what Supernatural does nowadays,
Kill all its women?
They've been doing that from the start.
Yeah.
Listen, if Supernatural weren't a bunch of cowards, Cass and Dean would be a thing.
Which, to be fair, the actors think too.
The network is a bunch of cowards. What are they gonna do? Cancel it?
Alright, Pip, is that your change?
Yeah, just make it queer.
Alright, I got one.
Alright.
This one's based on history.
Ugh, history.
Dun dun dun!
I'm actually, and this is something that does bother me, I'm fucking annoyed by George III. The way that's being portrayed, is honestly a lot more like his son, George IV, who was Prince Regent, unpopular, spent way too much money and was a dandy. I mean, he was also apparently quite overweight, and there's like hilarious shenanigans involving not wanting to fuck his wife. Stuff like that. But also, if you look at, British humor and whatnot, he was also a major figure of fun, which is kind of the vibe we're getting from George III in Hamilton. The actual George III, despite as well as going crazy, he had some kind of madness. The only reason we can say that is we only have some guesses as to what it might have been.
Syphilis!
Porphyria. He had blue pee at one point. But
I'm so blue.
Die.
Well, that's where the joke comes from.
That's why I just referenced it.
So look at that. Jokes. But also, he was a weird homebody. He was very devoted to his wife. There is no mistress on record. He only got weird after he went mad. And at that point, they started carefully removing certain people from his orbit. But in general, and this is a gag that maybe Lin-Manuel knew, but maybe not, I don't know. So the song The Farmer Refuted is supposed to be a reference to the fact that Hamilton is singing, is refuting this dude who's being like, we should be better about monarchy. who is
an actual historical pamphlet.
Yeah, who is himself a farmer. However, one of the nicknames in the British press for George III was Farmer George. Because he was a homebody. He was boring. He didn't he liked to stay home with his fucking family by the fireplace. He wasn't an exciting dude. And for the most part, he was fairly popular, except boring. He wasn't like the scapegrace of his dad or, God forbid, his grandfather. And he wasn't like the spectacular fuck-ups like his sons. His big problem was that he went crazy. So I don't like the way George III is portrayed in this. This is not to say that I think that Jay Groff did a bad job. I think it comes down to the writing. I'm gonna squarely blame Lin-Manuel on this one.
Counter argument.
You hear that, Len?
Yeah, Len.
You've been
counter
called
argument.
out.
We love you.
Counter argument. Because this is an American point of view show, American story. Why the fuck should they care about which king they're talking about?
Exactly. I was gonna just think about that. Because we are satirizing the British because we do not like them in the revolutionary times.
We don't. But there's like different ways we could have made fun of him.
Except I really love those songs.
The songs are really good. I know, I have two wolves inside me, which is that I want to have historical accuracy because this is my favorite time period to study. But at the same time, I don't want to lose the art we have.
I mean, I feel if we're going to call for historical accuracy in Hamilton, there are other places to start.
Mm-hmm. Listen. Okay. But anyway, that's my thing. I would do George differently to be more accurate. It just
more boring.
It just
in a show.
It just
annoys
that needs to be entertaining.
That it's clearly his son who's the inspiration for the character.
Does it mention in the actual stage show which George it is? Or does it just say a message from the king?
It only says a message from the king. By the time his son reached the throne, America was gone. We were off doing our own fucking thing.
And they were worrying about Napoleon.
Yeah, George IV, he was busy worrying about Napoleon. There was other shit going down. America was not involved. And, I mean, this tells you really the time period because, as you recall, in the second act of this, they're still worried about the fucking revolution in France. Napoleon is after the revolution. See, you could have, like, bits with, like, revolution, more with Napoleon. Anyway.
On a different continent.
Anyway. The point is...
I'm just saying it's Hamilton, an American musical.
It's
Sorry, I had to.
I will take this to the fucking streets now, Pippin. I wasn't that... The fact that you're being kind of about it makes me want to double down. But anyway, that's my thing, guys.
I mean, I'll just remind you that I'm always right. So...
Well, instead of changing, I'm gonna steal. Okay.
Nice!
And
beef.
And what I am going to steal is, cause in stories, it's like the rivalry is like a fun thing to use. It's
oh yeah.
Like, yeah, you got yourself a foil, you've got yourself an antagonist, you've got yourself of also a weird kind of friendship all rolled into one.
Those are the biggest betrayals. The ones that are your friends.
All of my enemies started out friends.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or is it the bigger betrayals your husband and wife situations? Who knows? There are so many examinations of betrayal in this.
But this one is a nice one. 'Cause you can see, like, these people are on two separate tracks. Heading in the same direction, but definitely decidedly. But when it comes to a head, when it reaches that moment, I've also watched, the various, Hamilton and video essays. What happens is, they end up changing their philosophies right at the last second.
It reverses even. It's an Uno reverse.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, and like, Hamilton, who's been shouting throughout the entire thing, I'm not gonna throw away my shot, and Burr, who's been like, I'm gonna wait for it. Bam! Hamilton throws away his shot, and Burr doesn't even wait. And that, like, moment, the reversal of those personal philosophies, and how, it ends up being their downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Is just, like, perfect.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to be able to use that.
Yeah, totally, man. Like, I was thinking about that myself. Like, if I had to write a story in which the antagonist is a rival, then that is definitely a good way to go about it. Because then at the very end of the piece, you could have them kind of learn from each other, yet maybe, depending on whether you're writing a tragedy or not, the person who successfully, actually, they reflect their ideals, and boom, whoever lives to the end, lives to the end.
Well, nobody lives in a vacuum, not even your characters. They affect and change each other.
Yeah.
Imagine that kind of thing in a Gundam. Where the protagonist is and the guy who's wearing a mask, end up doing the same thing. What?
Zex Marquis.
I think he's called Zach in the various things, but I don't think they're the same. They're not the same people. Like, cause they're set in different times.
Video games. Wait.
Yes.
This is anime.
Anime.
I believe he's called the Zex Machine, Al.
Oh my god.
He's Zex Marquis. Wait, is he actually Zex Marquis as in the Marquis? Is he actually a Marquis?
This is not the point.
Yeah, I know. yeah. Go on, Al.
And that kind of thing, and like in Gundam, Hero and Zex are pretty much on the same trajectory. They're both, I'm the best fucking pilot, and I'll fucking die to prove it.
Gundam Wing, of course, not any of the other Gundams.
Of the many, many Gundams.
The Chesterfield Gundams. Thank you.
And I mean, it would be a lot of fun to force Kat to watch a G Gundam eventually, but you know.
No.
Listen, I mentioned that it was Gundam Wing just to help the show notes later, because she's not going to know what we're talking about.
I have no fucking clue.
I won't remember which Gundam we were talking about.
Then I'm going to reference G Gundam right now and say that this hand of mine glows was an awesome power.
Haha, thank you, Al.
Fuck you. You guys all suck.
It's burning it tells me to defeat you. Take this.
I bet it does.
My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow. Shining finger sword.
It's exactly as dumb as you imagined.
Guys. Anyway.
So the switching of roles.
Yes.
That they learned from each other. They learned it from watching you.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm fine. Gonna have to take a lesson from you. What? Talk less. Smile
more. And you just know Aaron Burr is like, oh, you little fucker.
But he does the same thing to Hamilton later.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It took the seat from Skylar.
Was it? There's that line from Lynn's liner notes for Hamilton, where like that whole vibe is Burr being like, why is it that I, who have been me my entire life,
I forgot about that one.
Cannot succeed at doing the thing that you just did to get everything you wanted.
Oh, I forgot about one. I who have been me my entire life. Oh,
such a good line.
And so that's me. I'm just gonna find a way to make characters do that.
It's a great example of that thing. Yeah.
I'm glad that you did that, and I'm glad I stuck with my wild choice, just because that would have been exactly my thing to take from this as well. Just the duality of protagonist and antagonist, how they're both the same, but on different ideological divides.
The dichotomy of humans.
The dichotomy of assholes.
There we go. That's the working title of this episode. Dichotomy of assholes.
No, that's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I said I was gonna go out there. Fuck it, let's go for it.
Out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Cause I want an epilogue story where we have commentary on modern dealings from, say, like, a founding father. What if, in that moment of time stopping, we actually just yank him out of the time stream. We put him in the future, and it's sci-fi. That's right, we're making sci-fi progress here.
Fucking what?
Time travel.
We're fucking editing it?
Yep, or Eternal Champions,
Hamilton.
depending on how you're interpreting it.
See, I was thinking Hamilton in the 22nd century.
It'll be great. Oh, thank you for that reference, Pip.
You're welcome.
And Pippin, I'll be asking you what the fuck that was later. Thank you.
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century, just for your show notes later.
Thank you.
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Hey.
You're right.
Oh, such a bad show.
Jesus.
Watson is a
Amazing show.
robot.
Watson's a
Wait, is that the
robot.
one where he's a robot?
Watson's
a robot.
Fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
go on. Go.
And Lestrade's a sexy lady.
Ooh.
I do like that.
You suddenly have caught my attention.
Some things are improved. Now, all I'm saying is, I just want to have,
Fun.
one of the smartest people in the room going like, I fucking told you people, like, or fucking called it, or something like that.
Did you not read my 51?
I wrote so much about this.
Well, we did read your thing about how the electoral college. Obviously.
Oh, electoral college burn.
Oh, shit.
And hey, the banks are still in power. So much power that if they're in trouble, we can't let them die.
I don't know if you know this, guys, but the banks can't fail. They're too big to fail.
Yeah.
Oh, Hamilton, look at this garden you planted.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The seeds that you never got to see, here they are, fucker.
Listen, you left the garden for 200 years. We may not have weeded anything.
Whoops. What's in a legacy?
Now, here's the thing, because we have to have a story to tell. This is like a short story, novella. Who knows, maybe a longer thing if you felt like really playing with weird alternate history takes. I'm thinking the original premise is like, kind of like similar to, the To Say Nothing About the Dog series of books, where it's like, yeah, you can bring, say, this person back with you. Actually, technically you can't do that, but like, it's almost bringing people from the past and have them observe the future just to kind of mess with them or get their take on, the modern day or whatever. I'm just thinking that Hamilton here is just enough of a little shit, at least as portrayed in this play, that he'd find some way to skirt around the time travel rules and just totally bring down the hammer.
I mean, this is how you make it a longer story, is that your first half is bringing him from the past to the future. Look at what we can do! Ha ha ha! And then you send him back, and then somehow, either the amnesia ray fucks up, or he's just that cool. It's like, there's a hurricane in my mind, but I've lived through hurricanes before.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so he remembers it, and he's like, here's the thing. What if it's not coming back in total? It's all bits and pieces. And he knows that there's a problem in the future he has to fix, and he's in his current, trying to figure out what the fuck it was.
Oops.
These are kids, Marty.
And who knows, he probably pulled an Eleanor or a Nefton note.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like coded with like...
But what if he fucks up the code?
Fucking Hamilton.
Who the fuck is Cheaty? Wait, no, sorry. Who the fork is Cheaty?
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, go on, Bryn.
Again, I just like the idea of doing weird sci-fi time manipulation and just, it's an opportunity to try and have like some author wankery going on about like commentary on the modern day from, people that we generally hold in some amount of like political reverence.
Author wankery? Who would do that?
Authors.
Fuck. Quick, he noticed. Run.
Aha! So I think there could be a mix of shenanigans in the near future / present day, and then also shenanigans in the past.
Shenanigan, what?
That's the thing, like once you start messing around with the timeline, you can do all sorts of crazy stuff because, has Hamilton ever had to think about string theory and multiple universes and the butterfly effect? Who knows?
No, but he does have opinion about him.
Guaranteed, though, he'd be like, but I bet I could figure it out.
Exactly. That's how you have classic, smart character mistakes happening, which cause all sorts of problems for Act 3 characters to figure out.
Fucking Hamilton, messing up the timeline again.
And, like, violating the temporal prime directive.
Ooh.
He would.
He fucking would. And he'd make an argument. He'd make a beautiful argument, too. He's like, is it not our duty to correct the errors that we may find within ourselves and within our country so that we may better the future? Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
Yeah, but if we let you keep on going and the dinos take over. Dinos? Who's Amnesia Ray?
Oh. Eliza, I had a dream about a giant lizard.
I want Eliza to be in on it. I want her to be a future person. Like, they've switched out the real Eliza. Real Eliza's in the future, like, fucking living it up.
Sipping mimosas.
Yeah.
I want her to have a nice life. So they sent, and this is like right after maybe he fucked up with the Reynolds pamphlet. So she's willing to be like, fuck all this. And they're like, look, we'll send a spy back in time. We'll amnesia ray him. Like, everybody will think it's you. Like, everybody. Are you down with that? And she'll be like, do I get mimosas every day? And they're like, yes. Then you're like, fuck yes.
But she eventually goes back.
Yeah, she's got to eventually go back.
Because of the kids.
Because the orphanage.
Yeah, in the orphanage.
So what happens is they're only there for this crucial piece of time.
Uh-huh.
And Eliza's like, okay, I can deal with that. Like, that is also the choices I would make. But you obviously also have to deal with fucking Hamilton. So, yeah, like, we can shenanigan our way out of that one. We can make that work. Point is, there's a modern person having to just fucking babysit.
Oh, yeah. And that's our viewpoint character. Because we don't want to have inner monologue of a founding father and all that. That's
fuck that.
Ugh.
I want a babysitter who is but also has to make sure that things keep going in the right direction.
They're a rookie too, and they thought this was an easy assignment.
No. They're the backup. The first string came down with the mumps or something, future mumps. And there's no one else who fits the dress. So.
Oh, that's one of my favorite tropes.
We have Ray's to make us fit the dress.
Ray's broken.
Ray's broke.
Real talk, I went to a wedding last night.
Listen, when Hamilton was here, we noticed that he was kind of weird about you, and we're just gonna capitalize on that. I'm sorry, you're fucking what?
Also, you're the only one who signed the waiver.
Everyone else already had their graduate school debt paid off. You, though.
Again, to steal or borrow to say nothing about the dog, it's a grad program.
Yes! That's what happened. Well, that was also what happened in, I know it's the same universe, but Doomsday Book. It was a grad student. She'd done all the research. She needed this. Please, advisor, let me go back. It'll be safe, don't worry.
I mean, you gotta finish your dissertation, right?
Gotta finish. Like, who else is as prepared as her? Really, it would be irresponsible not to send her.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking grad students.
Every 5 minutes, Hamilton flirts with her.
And she's like, please keep your mind on the game. He's like, by the way, I had a weird dream about this. And she's like, oh no, let's dance. What about this other thing that happens to coincide with what history actually said? He's like, but instead... Oh my god, just constantly trying to make sure he fucks up in exactly the right way.
He keeps coming up with new ways to fuck up.
Yes!
So, I'm going to go to on vacation with my sister. You wanna come? Oh, sure. But
that sounds nice.
You're super busy, though. Actually,
I could be unbusy. You know, I haven't seen Angelica in a while, and this is
Founding of a country. Alexander,
I love how
focus.
we're implying. I love how we're implying that Alexander Hamilton would fuck up by going on vacation with his wife and not having an affair.
Listen.
I just want us to be aware that that's what we're implying.
I don't think he should have been president, and I think that there would be a chance, based on the storyline presented in Hamilton, that he might have had a vague shot at it, were it not for Scandal City. But he was also kind of an asshole. What? Like so many of them.
The asshole part probably played a big role in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited by that whole idea. And it doesn't have to be Hamilton. pick some other, rub the serial numbers off, pick some other, major historical figure and use that same plot. That sounds hilarious.
That'd be great. Alright. So that's story changes, borrowing, yada yada yada. Let's play a game real quick, cause we're getting on the long side here.
A game?
Wow.
What do we have?
Alright, let's play the character that would be king, where we make a secondary character the primary character.
Alright.
And I wanna go.
Okay.
Fuck you, fine.
I want Peggy to be the main character. Cause Peggy apparently was a badass in real life.
Oh yeah, she was hardcore.
Like, when a bunch of people were hiding in the house, including women and children, of which she was one of that category, British soldiers came to the door to be like, listen and let's steal all your shit. And she was at the door being like, nobody's home. And he's like, you're home? She's like, am I though? And then they left, and it was amazing.
I think the point was, they were looking for a revolutionary general of which her father was one. And he was actually home at the time, and she straight up lied to their face and went, no, he's not home.
He's not home.
He's a really busy guy.
There ain't no generals here, man.
And the reason she left her hiding place, and ran into the people wanting to, hurt her father, was because they all went to hide and they realized they left their baby brother.
Whoops.
As one does. So she went out to get him.
See, Peggy's awesome. Let's have more Peggy. Let's make this a much more a story of somebody on the outside looking in. Burr is actually in the room where all this happens. He is a central figure in this particular, fuck up.
Can we name the play Aunt Peggy?
Yes. We'll call it Peggy Sue Got Married. Wait a second.
Wow.
Thank you. Peggy Sue references. Anyway, that's mine.
All right.
I'll go next.
Go for it.
Lafayette.
Aw, damn it.
Cause, for the second act, he gets replaced with Jefferson. But what I want to do is, in the second act, we know what happens with America at that point.
Oh, God.
We've heard the story. Suddenly, we're in France, and it's the French Revolution.
Oh, shit.
And America isn't sending guns or ships.
No, America's like, you guys got this, right?
Yeah.
You got this? Cool.
We don't got anything. We just did a war.
We don't have anything either. We just did your war.
Oh, shit.
But no, so...
Did you though? France comes knocking, nobody answers.
And I want, Lafayette's, song about, I thought, you had my back, bro.
Well, I'd like to see, we get to a certain degree within the play itself. We have, Jefferson, played by the same actor.
Yep.
Looking at Hamilton, being like, did you forget Lafayette / me, bro? And Hamilton's like, he's fine, he's a big boy. And I just want, Lafayette to be like...
The fuck, dude?
What?
Did you forget me?
Oh. I mean, from what I understand, the historical Lafayette was pretty cool about it.
They did make a deal with King Louis. And when trying to ask King Louis's head, what did he say again?
Do whatever you want. I'm super dead.
But Lafayette sounds like a decent dude. We should, again, name a lot of stuff after him.
Yeah, he seemed pretty neat.
Yeah. Also, I think one of you joked when we group watched Hamilton that it says something about the dude's character that he was able to be friends with both Hamilton and Jefferson at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Friends with both of them, hated Burr.
You are the worst, Burr.
Apparently, he said to somebody at some point that he didn't like Burr because he insulted one friend and killed the other.
I mean...
Legit.
Lafayette, again, proving America's sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
He should come over and visit sometimes.
He'll show up as a character in my time travel sci-fi
story. Can there be his great whatever granddaughter and
the protagonist, the graduate student we're talking about? Last Stand?
Yes.
Lafayette.
Oh my god! Yes! I love it.
So her actual interest is getting to meet, a great grandparent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
I love it.
That's me.
All right. I want to go.
Okay.
Go for it.
Steal Brent's other thing.
We'll see. This is just me being back in my bullshit some more. Cause Because I'm John Lawrence in The Place to Be.
Oh god, okay. Fuck. Oh, the one non-asshole about slavery in the entire group?
Yeah! Yeah, the one who wanted to form a, black battalion and offer people their freedom.
Believed in abolition.
Believed in abolition. And the one besides Hercules Smuggling, the one besides Hercules Mulligan we don't know a ton about.
Mm-hmm.
We know his dad was, I think, rich. But, so were all of them.
Yeah.
Weirdly, to be a revolutionary, you need to have some backing. Otherwise, you're just too busy trying to live.
Weird.
What?
So strange.
It's almost as if you're replacing one system with another.
What?
What? Problems in my political system? We don't know a lot of what he does. We know he gets killed. We know he served with Hamilton. So I want to serve him in the trenches and what he was trying to do. And then, it'd be really sad when he dies.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the direction I thought you were going to go with.
He thought you were going to go with the super queer story. Okay.
Yeah, there's only one tent.
And there's only one tent.
Wait, and how many bedrolls are there?
Enough.
It's Valley Forge, Al. It's cold.
It is cold.
They have to huddle together for warmth.
Though, to be fair, they would have been in the house with
officers
Washington.
and shit.
Oh, yeah.
God, who knows what Washington heard.
Well, remember, George Washington, when he got married to Martha, and this is true, we have the shopping list he sent out, and he asked for, I think, 2 different versions of Spanish fly.
I think also it's historical record that early in the morning, they'd make the officers get up and do shit early. So that George and Martha could have, time by themselves in their room, which was right next to the officers.
It should also be noted that Martha Washington apparently had a kick-ass punch recipe that was loaded with booze.
If Martha Washington were in this show, she'd be the character who would be king.
That's a good point. Oh shit, I wish Martha was in this. Oh, damn. Lost opportunities.
Cause you know what, despite what Then says, the line about Martha Washington named her feral tomcat after him, probably not actually true. So good job, Lynn. The one thing you insisted was true, it wasn't. You done fucked up, kid. But it does say something about their relationship that I think is fascinating and would have liked to explore. How is Hamilton with women? He either didn't want or couldn't fuck.
Oh, an excellent point.
Well, shit.
I mean, you could go with the one who refused to be king.
Nah.
He's like, no, fuck that.
Nah, I don't feel like that. Here's a thought. Philip, the teenage to college years shortly before he dies of dual complications? Dies of death. Just, cause I imagine there's probably some fun stories to be told of like, Hamilton the dad going like, oh shit, was I like this when I was his age? The answer is, yes, all his friends tell him.
Only worse.
But Eliza won't talk to him about it.
No.
Because that's still in the not talking to you, fucker, point in their relationship.
Yep. Well, and you got Philip, like, navigating that icy relationship, like, haha, dad, I love you, man, but you kind of fucked up on that one. Oops.
And his dad's like, yep.
I did. Don't do what I did. Oh god, you're doing everything I did. Oh no.
But I will also point out that they had, like, 6 fucking children.
Yeah.
They had so many kids.
Again, a great moment in the drunk history. Dude, don't write the Reynolds pamphlet. You got like 6 kids.
Oh man.
I mean, he does name another one Philip after Philip dies.
Yeah.
Well, necronyms, baby.
Philip 2.0.
Oh my god.
Maybe this one won't die.
Aw.
Oh.
But yeah, that's mine. Philip, the teenage to college years.
I like it.
Yeah.
What do people with this kind of personality do when there isn't a war to fight?
The answer is fuck everyone.
Woo!
Fuck everyone, get shot up by some dude.
I feel like that in itself is a rap song. Fuck, get shot.
The end.
The end.
Un, deux, trois, dead.
Un, deux, trois, dead.
That's the name of the story.
It's a good one. I like it. Alright. Now have we hit the end? Did I do it?
Yep, we did it. Okay. Before we go, does anyone have anything to plug?
First thing is, of course, I have that short story coming out. Short story, and a podfic reading of it, and an interview from Lightspeed. The short story is Sing in Me, Muse. And that's coming out August 27th, from Lightspeed. Or you can buy the issue now.
Ooh.
And read it right now. But the other exciting news, and I'm hoping that by the time this airs, I will have actually gotten around to announcing it in public, is that I'm going to be writing a game for Heart's Choice, which is the romance imprint of Choice of Games, an interactive fiction publisher who has been nominated at the very least for like Nebula Awards and so on. This is them trying to do romance, and I am doing writing a game for them. It is called The Tutor, and it is a Regency England gentleman who thinks that he is going to a house to seduce young ladies, and surprise, surprise, perhaps he is the one who shall be seduced.
So the gentleman rake gets raked? No.
Hell yeah, he does.
That's a weird sounding thing.
I'm still coming up with the pitch on this one. But yeah, so that's in progress. The contract is all signed. The signatures are still damp on the page. And expect 6 months from now, whatever and then it comes out in like a year. But whatever, the point is it's happening. Very exciting. That's my show.
We're all
That's
proud.
my show.
Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah, I've got a show coming up on the 29th, so look forward to that.
Of?
Improv.
Of August.
That's the implication, yes.
We don't know when people listen to this. We have a vast back catalog now.
We do.
Listen, some of us just don't remember what month we're in. It's been really hard.
True.
But yeah, so on the 29th, you can look for me on the Arcade Theater's YouTube page. We'll be doing a live improv show. It'll be great.
What?
It's like this, but with faces and perhaps professionalism.
No promises.
Hey, we've got banter. We've got hot family.
And that's all we've got.
Yeah, it's really the only thing.
Twins, you got anything?
No.
We love you anyway.
Thank you. And as always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostorysacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter @nostorysacred, or send an email through contact@nostorysacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex MacDonald, Brendan MacDonald, Pippin MacDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostorysacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostorysacred. See you next time when we talk about the 1997 film Con Air.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Put the bunny back in the box.
Oh my god. Nick Cage, y'all!
Okay.
Nick Cage! Until then, we're No Story Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Alex.
I'm Kat.
I'm Brendan.
And I'm Pippin.
And we're
No Story is Sacred.
Sacred.